Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on what is a very, very fine Monday, the day after Arsenal beat Spurs 3-1 in the North London derby. That scene behind me, yes, I have watched those highlights a few times this morning. I'm sure you all have as well. Really, really fun day at the Emirates yesterday. So I thought I'd pop on here today. I know I did a bit of a ratings video. I think I rambled a fair bit in that. I think I was what you call buzzing a little bit after that win last night. I was laughing at my ratings this morning, basically just throwing eights around all over the place without really thinking about it at all. So I will do player ratings again at the end of this video, just to go over it a little bit more and be probably a little bit more detailed. Might change a few of them as well, rather than just throwing eights at absolutely everyone like I did on yesterday's ratings video from after the game. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the match itself, what we saw from it, what it showed, and perhaps what it showed in terms of pointing towards the future as well. Go over a few comments from Mikel Arteta after the game as well. So, I mean, look, it was a fantastic day, fantastic performance. That first half was just as good as it gets, really, at the Emirates. The atmosphere, the noise, the football, the goals, the celebrations. It was just absolutely perfect. Really special to be in the ground and to witness that yesterday. Look, it's been a really difficult season. It's been a horrible 18 months, to be honest. And just a day like that, celebrations like that, a noise like that, it just makes you realise just how football is just made by the fans and the noise of it all. It was really, really special. I was talking to my dad on the phone last night. He was there in his usual seat, and I was talking to him this morning, about it, and he was just saying it was just how much he absolutely loved it. And after so long of being away from football and having the horrible, mundane, behind closed doors games that we saw for so long, I think yesterday kind of made up for it all, really, and it was a very special occasion at the Emirates. And Arsenal just showed real signs of this new look Arsenal emerging. I said it in yesterday's video that the wins against Norwich and Burnley felt like the sort of building blocks of sort of repairing the damage of that start to the season. And yesterday, you just thought it felt like real sort of ignition time, really, sort of lift off for this team. It just felt fresh. It's felt fresh for the last couple of weeks, but yesterday it really sort of kicked it on and took it up a gear. All six of the summer signings ended that game on the pitch yesterday. 4 of them started. Thomas Partey back, absolutely fully fit and playing superbly. Gabriel back and playing superbly, looking fully fit. Auba racing around all over the place. Odegaard pulling the strings. The back 4 looking great. Tomiyasu being fantastic. It's just a new look Arsenal. You can see, you go back to that Manchester City game. I looked at the defence for the Man City game just a few weeks ago, and it was Kolasinac, Holding, Chambers, Cedric. It's just completely different worlds now. When you got that back 4, the new signings looks completely different. Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, and Tierney. You got Aaron Ramsdale behind them now as well. The character that he's bringing. The spirit that he's bringing, the quality he's bringing as well. I mean, that save at 3-1 from Lucas Moura was unbelievable yesterday. It certainly saved us all from a really horrible, nervy last 4 minutes as well. And, it's young. I think the average age yesterday was 24 of that starting 11. And that's, when you consider that Auba's 32 and then you've got, I think, Xhaka and Partey are both 28, that just shows how young the other players are. It just feels like a vibrant Arsenal side. Now, look, we can't get carried away. This is only one game. And, if Arsenal get injuries soon to the back line and some other key players, then you're going to have to bring in the squad players we saw at the start of the season who struggled. But I think it's certainly showing how difficult the start of that season was for Arsenal with the injuries, with COVID and everything. It's just looking like a completely different team now. And it felt yesterday like this was Arteta's team. I think it was Sam Dean. I'm sure you know him, follow me as the Arsenal correspondent. He's one of the Arsenal guys at the Telegraph, and he came up to me. We were speaking before kickoff, and he pointed it out. I hadn't noticed it, that I think the starting 11 yesterday, I think 7 of them were new signings, Arteta signings, and 4 of them Arteta has given new contracts to since he's been at the club. So it very much felt like his side now, and it does. You look at it, it really feels like it. I think from that, what we saw yesterday, that lineup, the way they played, everything about it was exactly what Arteta wants, from the really, really high pressing from Odegaard, from Auba, Saka, Smith Rowe, from the real solid defensive line-up, from the quality on the ball with the defenders as well, and bringing it out from Xhaka and Partey, really controlling things in midfield. It felt like an Arteta side, and the start of this season absolutely didn't. It was just square pegs in round holes, trying to fit people in, and obviously the defeats, real heavy defeats came, and it was difficult. It was a really difficult period, but it feels like Arsenal are beginning to emerge from that. And like I said, those 2 wins against Norwich and Burnley are really important for sort of repairing the damage and slowly building up to something. But you still felt that Arteta needed a really big day. The team needed a really big day just to get the belief, to get everyone on side. And it certainly felt like that yesterday with that victory, and Arteta was delighted. He said it's one of the nicest things I've experienced in the stadiums, to win it the way we did, and to feel that connection with the team and the support has made it really special. I'm proud of the way we played, and I'm even more proud of the way we were able to give something back to the fans, because they really stuck behind the team. I've said it in the last couple of videos, the connection really does feel like it's building now, and it felt like that yesterday. The fans, the team, everyone felt together. I put up, I don't know if you've seen it yet, if you haven't, I've put up a behind the scenes video, went live this morning from outside the ground after full time, that sort of thing, from yesterday's game. And you just sense it, like when Ramsdale came out to do his interviews, the cheers he get, when Odegaard comes out, when Smith Rowe came out with Auba, when Arteta came out, everyone, all the fans were there cheering, and it just feels like they're beginning to believe in this team a little bit. It was a special day, and look, as I said, we can't get carried away with it, and this is a very young team. There's going to be plenty of bumps along the road. There's going to be defeats. There's going to be downs. There's going to be ups. You know, Arsenal's still a long way off challenging for the likes of the top 4, something like that. But you can just start to see signs now of this. The whole trust the process. It was very hard to trust it when you saw some of the performances earlier on this season. But again, these were most of that team was full of players that Arsene Wenger had signed. That's how long ago it was. But now this team that played yesterday, the team that played at Burnley, it's beginning to feel different. It's beginning to feel like Arteta's team, and fingers crossed we can continue to see that improvement grow as the days and weeks go on this season. It was an important day. Mikel was asked about that after the game as well. You know, I think a while ago he said that he believed the project was ready to go bang. I think that was towards the end of last season he said that, and he was asked about it. He was reminded of it during the press conference yesterday, and was asked, did this game, the win against Spurs, did this feel like the moment that the project did go bang? And he said, I think we all agree that what we saw today was a team that convinced from the beginning with good energy and high rhythm, with a lot of quality, great cohesion and understanding of what we wanted to do with and without the ball. Then we were super efficient. That is something we've been lacking in the final third, the right pass, the shot to hit the target more, and I think we did that all really well in the first half. That was absolutely the difference. I mean, the game against Burnley, Arsenal could have scored 4 or 5 goals in that game against Burnley, but they didn't even get shots away because they kept mucking up the final pass when in really important positions. They didn't do that yesterday. When they got in good positions, especially in that first half, they made them count. Quality passes into the penalty area, decent finishes when the opportunities arrived, and Arsenal have been lacking that recently. So that was really, really good to see. It was just a very fluent performance, wasn't it? He was asked, how close was that performance to your vision of what you want from this team? And he said, in the first 3 games we missed 9, 10, 11 players that we could not select. They were out, and the ones that we had issues because of COVID. We played the 2 best teams in the world, which you could see when you played each other on Saturday. He's talking about Chelsea and Manchester City, obviously there. So we had to accept that we were bottom of the table. We had to accept the reality, go back to certain things and do them better. But we had to believe and stick together. We were lucky because we had people with us in a difficult moment, which football is very rare to find. Then things have started to get better. Like I said, it felt like a really important day for Arteta and for this new look young Arsenal side yesterday. And now it's just all about improving and getting better. They go to Brighton on Saturday. Brighton, if they win tonight, could be top of the table. Well, will be top of the table if they win tonight. Playing really good football under Graham Potter. So that's going to be an intriguing test for Arsenal away from home. Can they produce the type of performance that they produced yesterday at the Emirates? Can they cause Brighton problems? Because Brighton are going to be a hell of a lot better than Tottenham at the weekend, because Tottenham were at utter shambles yesterday. Not that I'm complaining. Always enjoy seeing Tottenham looking like shambles. I thought Auba was great yesterday. I'll go through my player ratings, and there were other standout performers who I think certainly put Auba a little bit in the shade, but I just wanted to give credit to Aubameyang because I thought it was really, really good. He's taken a lot of grief so far this season, at times, but I thought he really led the line superbly. He didn't stop moving, he didn't stop working, he scored his goal, he was heavily involved elsewhere in that attacking final third, and I thought he played really, really well. And Arteta did, he pointed him out afterwards, said I'm really happy with the performance and the performance against Burnley, and with what Auba is doing. He's getting criticised and we are asking him to do more. He stood by it and he put his head down and he's working tremendously hard for the team, and now I can tell you that he's really giving. I think that was clear last night, and I loved that celebration as well. Recreating Henry's knee slide against Spurs from 2002, I think it was. Great celebration from Auba, and it deserves a lot of credit because I thought he played really, really well yesterday. The one downside was Granit Xhaka's injury. I thought Xhaka was great, by the way, yesterday. There was a lot of finger pointing and unhappiness, really, that he was brought back into the side. And I spoke about it before. Personally, I wouldn't have put him back in the side straight away. I expected that he would go into it, but I thought he probably shouldn't because he just didn't deserve it, really, after what happened against Manchester City. But Arteta did, as expected, put him back in the side. And given he would have known there was a lot of focus going to be on him, I thought Xhaka played really, really well, heavily involved in the first and second goals, deserves a lot of credit for his performance, but he did go off injured in that second half. It looked like a nasty one as well. It was a bit of a freak injury. I think it was Thomas Partey tripped, it was maybe Højbjerg, I'm not sure which one it was, one of the Tottenham players sort of tripped him. It was in the build-up to Spurs' goal, and Højbjerg, or whoever it was, fell on Xhaka and just caught his knee, sort of got trapped underneath him, and it looked pretty nasty for Xhaka. And Mikel saying afterwards, said, I'm pretty worried because it doesn't look very positive at the moment. He was out on the pitch afterwards in the celebration, Xhaka, but he was clearly hobbling. I think he'll be seeing a specialist either today or tomorrow to really assess that. It depends on how big the swelling is around the knee, and once that goes down, we'll see a specialist. They'll have a scan, and Arsenal will discover the true extent of that injury. But a bit worrying there because Arteta's got everyone fit and available at the moment. He's got a lot to choose from, and he won't want to lose one of his most experienced senior players, having just got him back involved. So more news on that as we get it, as the week progresses. We'll be speaking to Arteta, I believe, on Thursday ahead of that Brighton game, so we might have more of an update on the situation towards the end of the week when it comes to Granit Xhaka. Okay, before I go, let me quickly do my player ratings. Like I said, yesterday was a bit of a shambles. I was laughing at the video this morning, just throwing eights around all over the place. Hadn't really had time to think about it. So I'm going to go through it a bit more now, with a bit more clarity of why I'm giving a player. So Ramsdale, I'm giving an 8. I thought Ramsdale was fantastic. Quite unlucky with a goal actually conceded. He got a good hand on it. It was just a little bit too powerful from Son. I thought his save from Mora was just unreal yesterday. Absolutely brilliant save. And like I said earlier in the video, had that gone in, it would have been a very nervy last 4 minutes for Arsenal if Spurs had made it 3-2. Thought he was great all around. His character, I loved it when Kane went through and missed that one-on-one. If you look at the replay, Ramsdale turns around and he just screams at Kane as he goes past, just always just taking the mick out of him for missing. And it's just got a proper sort of goalkeeper mentality, it feels like. It reminds me of a little bit of Jens Lehmann, the way he is, and the way he commands his penalty area. Again, took a lot of grief, Ramsdale, when Arsenal signed him. The club took a lot of grief for paying the money to sign him, but we've got to admit, at the moment, he's looking like a breath of fresh air at the team. So he gets an 8. Tomiyasu, brilliant again, Tomiyasu. I'm giving Tomiyasu a 9. I think I gave him an 8 in yesterday's video. I gave everyone an 8, to be honest. But Tomiyasu now, he's getting a 9. I thought it was brilliant. It was his first real big test against Son. Son had no joy whatsoever out of him, really. I know the goal, I know he scored, but I'm not putting that down to Tomiyasu's fault. I thought it was great. Again, just dominant in the air, got forward when he could. Just his technique's great. It just looks like an absolute worldie of a signing so far, Tomiyasu. So he gets a 9. Gabriel and Ben White giving it 8. I think that partnership looks like it's blossoming and developing really well. Thought Ben White had a really good game yesterday. Tierney, I'm going to give a 7. I think I saw some comment. I think did I give him an 8 yesterday? I can't remember, but I think I'm going to give Tierney a 7. For me, I thought he did pretty well in the first half, Tierney. So he gets a 7. Xhaka and Partey, I'm giving 8s to both of them. I thought they were great. Like I've already spoken about Xhaka, but I thought Partey was really dominant in central midfield. Unlucky not to score. Had another close effort which was saved. That goal is coming. He will score soon, Thomas Partey. That pass he made for Aubameyang at the end of the first half, which Aubameyang miscontrolled, absolutely brilliant it was. Just looking like his very, very best at the moment, Partey. So he gets an 8. Odegaard, I'm going to give it an 8 too. I thought he was great in the first half. Odegaard kept dropping into those pockets of space, finding Smith Rowe and Saka behind him. but in and around him, just really good performance from Odegaard. He gets an 8. Smith Rowe gets a 9. He's my man of the match. Could have been Tomiyasu, could have been Saka, but I'm going to give it to Smith Rowe. Scored the first, made the second. Just an excellent performance from Smith Rowe. He said it was the best day of his life. And I think you can see by that celebration behind me exactly what it meant to score for Arsenal against Spurs in the North London derby. He gets a 9. Saka gets a 9 as well. It's been a bit of a difficult start to the season for Saka, but that was just Saka of old yesterday. He's still only a kid, but he gets a 9. Good to see him back on the right as well. I said before the game I'd like to see him over there. I think he's better there, and I think that's where he should stay. So he gets a 9, and I'm going to give Auba an 8. Great to see him getting his goal. Thought he held the ball up well, linked up play really well, and an excellent performance from the captain. So he gets an 8. So I'll go through that quickly again. Ramsdale 8, Tomiyasu 9, White 8, Gabriel 8, Tierney 7, Xhaka 8, Partey 8, Odegaard 8, Smith Rowe 9, Saka 9, Aubameyang 8. How nice is it when you give out high ratings? How nice is it on a Monday after beating Spurs as well? That's it from me, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, I have done a little bit of a behind the scenes video that's already live on the page, so go and check that out if you can. And look, enjoy your Monday. If you're at work today, if you're sitting around Tottenham fans, enjoy it, because it's a very, very good day. Speak to you soon, everyone.